Hey, Javon Spencer here, and in this video I'm going to go over the 20 mistakes to avoid in sales. And guys, remember, I'm talking life insurance sales. That's what we do, that's what our agency, that's what our company does, that's what our agents do. So let's jump into it. Mistake one, not asking for the business. Guys, in life insurance sales, you just got to be assumptive, right? If you don't ever ask for the business, very few people are just going to raise their hands and say, let's do this. It happens, but more times than not, you have to be the one to lead the conversation and ask for the business. And in subtle ways, like one way I move forward with an application is after I go over numbers, I'll say something like, and what's your driver's license number? And that's my transition into doing the full application, right? So it's not like you want to do this today. No, you have to be assumptive. So asking for the business, but being assumptive that you're going to do business. Number two, focusing on features, not benefits. This is huge because if you just tell someone what the policy does, but not how it would benefit them or how they can use it in their life or how it will protect them in their life and their journey, they're not going to understand or feel the value of what you're explaining to them. So show the clients what the policy can protect from them, not just what it does, period. Three, talking too much and listening too little. You heard the whole saying, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth. In life insurance, you are asking professional questions. You're a professional question asker, okay? All you do is ask questions and listen, all right? If you find yourself doing more of the talking, you are losing the sale. You are really ruining everything, okay? So you listen, ask questions, listen, ask open-ended questions, listen, and ask more questions. I like to call it being the nosy neighbor. Ask questions so that you can fully understand and then you share. Making assumptions about client needs. Yes, guys, this is where question asking come into play. You have to ask questions. Don't assume just because someone doesn't have a policy that they're going to get a policy from you today. All right. Ask questions and gain clarity. Clear is kind. All right. Number 5, giving away profit with excessive discounts. Luckily in life insurance, we don't have discounts because it's state regulated. But the way you can handle discounts is just by verbalizing every step of the way that your job is to save them money. As long as you verbalize it and you think that it's common sense, but it's not, you're still in sales. You still get looked at as everything you do is a commission. So I like to always just say, hey, my job is to save you money. I'm going to save you money. I'm going to find a company that gets you approved and save you money. And that's actually what I'm doing. Number 6, failing to prepare for sales calls. Absolutely. You can listen to audios. You can literally take the morning at first thing in the morning, journal, meditate, listen to audio, listen to previous sales calls, listen to successful ones, listen to bad ones to know what not to do. But don't let your first one be, your first call of the day be the first thing you did to get your mentals right. Number 7, poor time and pipeline management, right? If you are horrible with your time, especially telesales is going to be the worst for you. Okay. We don't have any type of, like our schedule is our law. Okay. So if you don't have good time management, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, always late, just chaotic. It's not good. Number 8, being a product expert, not a solutions expert. Absolutely. Guys, no one cares about it's life insurance. No one cares about we all know what the product does for you, but your job is to wrap it into how it will solve their problem. Find out their problem, analyze their reality of if they did not have this, and then your job is to put the right products in place that it solves their problem or solve a future problem. Okay. Number 9, neglecting existing clients, failing to retain. This is huge. You did the hard work. You met a stranger. You got a policy for them. And now for some reason, you never want to talk to them again. That is crazy. Okay. If you stay in contact with your clientele, stay top of mind, stay at the very top of their very existence, that as soon as they think of life insurance, they always think of you. You constantly have a book of business for that reason. So stay on top of folks. And it makes the easier sales over and over because they already know you. They trust you once you did what you're supposed to do. Don't turn them into orphan clients. Number 10, resting on your laurels after success. That is huge, guys. You always have to stay active. Massive action, constant correction. Like, just because you made a sale, you keep going, right? We have dips and lows in this business, and you know what? After every successful week, on our week, Saturdays, we all back at zero, right? So got to get back at it. Number 11, not knowing the competition well enough. Yes, you have to be a student of the industry, not just of the products that you offer, right? Knowing what the world is comparing against. And we do a great job with this in our school group, where we constantly share what are different things that people are saying, why those products are not as good as ours. And it lets you know how to educate the public without bashing them. All right, number 12, failing to handle objections effectively. This is huge. We have an objection list, right? And really, when you do our sales process, you don't run into many objections. It's only like 3 of them, and it's only one you can't overcome. And I always say you never can overcome someone who does not have any money. That's the reality of it, especially in life insurance. But other than that, procrastination, not seeing the value, our sales process really helps with that. But just knowing your objections, knowing how to overcome it, you must know how to do that, unless you're going to not make sales. All right. Number 13, failing to prospect and generate leads consistently. Guys, it doesn't matter how many leads we have. Our agency has thousands of leads. Okay. Every day I'm going to put more opportunity out there, whether I'm using social media, whether I'm going through my phone of previous clients to see if I can tap someone that, can refer someone to my business. We're always working. Okay. That's the thing about working for yourself. If you want a big business, you're constantly putting fishing rods out there to see who you can help. Even when you got a CRM full of leads and opportunity, it does not stop. Number 14, not personalizing your approach for each client. Yeah, like at some point, yes, luckily we're brokers, so not everyone's going to want a whole policy. Not everyone's going to want a term. Not everyone's going to want an IUL. So you have to listen, ask questions and listen, and don't walk into your sales presentation already knowing which product you're going to sell them. That's when you're doing this wrong. All right. So you have to listen, find the problem, handle it with the solution. And with that approach, you're going to be personalizing it for every single client. Number 15, neglecting the value of referrals. I can't see how. If you want to be in business, referrals are your best compliment that you did a good job for someone. So the more that you get referrals, the more you know that your value is in the marketplace. So that's huge. You have to ask for referrals, guys. If you're not asking for referrals, like you think they're just going to wake up and say, oh, I got a guy for you. That doesn't happen all the time. But if you tap them, you ask for referrals, you constantly stay in their face, they're going to send people to you because you ask. Okay, it's not human nature to just send someone to someone and for someone else's business. So be brave, ask for referrals. Number 16, not personalizing your approach for each client. Yes, we just went over that. You have to personalize your approach for each client, because if not, everyone would be in the same cookie cut policy. Number 17, over promising and under delivering. Guys, this is huge, because as long as I like the opposite. I like the under promise and over deliver. Okay. But if you go over and beyond for your clients, guys, just let them know that, right? Let them know what you're going to do for them and exceed expectation. Number 18, skipping essential stages of the sales process. Guys, I'm actually going to shoot a video about this, because I can tell that when agents skip the process, right? If you're not identifying yourself, that's a problem. If you're not sending over the value cards that we have for our agents to go over what's included in the policy, that's a problem. If you don't add your clients on social media, if you're dealing with social media leads, that's a problem. If you're not getting reviews at the end, that's a problem. If you're not doing a service call for your clients, that's a problem. And if you don't know anything what I'm talking about, you really need to look at our agency, because that is a huge problem. Number 19, failing to qualify leads adequately. Absolutely, guys. Like, you have to do a client intake form and make sure that they qualify for what you want to put them into, so that they're not wasting your time and you're not getting them declined to where they become uninsurable. And last but not least, number 20, not building in the quiet times. We want big agencies. So if I want to help 1,000 families over years, I can help 1,000 families in a month with a team. So we grow our business. We have right now over 15 builders on our agency, growing their agency every single week. So if you're interested in joining one of the biggest agencies in all of the industry and winning with the winning culture, click the link in this video and SpencerSFG.com, www.SpencerFG, one more time, www.SpencerF as in Frank, G as in golf.com/hiring. We can't wait to see you on the next check-in call. Peace.